there are wealth of knowledge on indigenous practices which exist over centuries in different communities. We heard that in 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami in Similu in Indonesia, the people who were living there traditionally, when they felt the tsunami and the earthquake, and when they saw the sea was receding, they could not understand that there is a tsunami coming. And that type of information was developed over time. It was not written in a textbook, but it was passed from their generations, from their forefathers. Similarly, if you go to Bangladesh, in many of the villages are located very near to the rivers. And by seeing the river color, the local villagers, they can understand that there has been a tremendous rainfall in the upstream, and possibly there will be flooding or influx of water in next couple of hours or another 1 or 2 days. In Japan, we see that Japan is prone to different types of hazard. The people who are living in the mountain region, by having a very special smell or by having a very special noise, you can understand that there is going to be a landslide in certain area. So what I'm trying to emphasize here, this type of bit of information or knowledge, it's not written in the textbook, but it is generated indigenously in the local community over time. My university, Kyoto University, along with even ISDR, we have been trying to pursue this indigenous knowledge more into the policy dimension. We developed this publication called Indigenous Knowledge and Disaster Risk Reduction, which you can download from even ISDR website and also our Kyoto University website. And when you talk about this indigenous knowledge, we have seen that some of this indigenous knowledge has very specific scientific judgment. Like some of the buildings which are earthquake prone, traditional buildings, they have lots of engineering behind that. But some of the indigenous knowledge are based on more on the social system, the belief system, or the cultural aspect. So when we talk about this type of indigenous knowledge and its importance in the education process, we are trying to understand into 5 different categories, which are the natural ecosystems. One is the mountain, then the coastal ecosystem, the river basin management, the water resource management, and the housing. These are the 5 thematic areas which we found possibly there are wealth of information which we can understand, realize, analyze, and document for its proper use in future. As all of us understand that the world is changing rapidly, the indigenous knowledge which was existing or which was usable 10 years back, 50 years back, 100 years back, may not be usable at its current form now. But what we can use is the basic principles behind those indigenous knowledge. And that's what we call the transferable indigenous knowledge, which we can use for the education purpose. So my main intervention here and my appeal to all of us is that we possibly need to see the linkage between this community knowledge or indigenous knowledge and the current scientific intervention or the scientific progress, and try to see that how these two can come together as an inclusive education process in the disaster risk